All right. That was your coach, Dan Campbell. This will be the last segment of the day. It was so much I took out of that. So much I took out of that. But here, I'm going to call it, bro. I said it last week that this team, I had a dream that we was going to the playoffs. We was going to the playoffs, and Dan Campbell, he got them boys believing. If you read through the lines, he that was called coach talk. Coach talk is I'm going to say the right things at the right time because that's what coaches do. If you read in between the lines, he's saying, we got to get to the playoffs. He's saying, he's trying to show these guys, this is an opportunity you cannot squander. They know where they are. They hear where they are. Everybody's talking about them. But still, this is an opportunity that it doesn't come often. Taylor Decker, one playoff game, which was the 2016 game. The one we got decimated by the Seattle Seahawks. And isn't it fitting that they're also competing for that spot? He said all the right things, but what I heard is the undercover talk, the stuff we don't see. Fellas, we got a chance here. We got a chance to do something that nobody really thought we were going to do at the beginning of the season. Even the media attention. You know what, Dan Campbell, we ask the question all the time about like armchair GMs. And I think one thing about fans that makes us, sometimes it's so annoying, but sometimes it's great. The banter that goes back and forth. We be ready to fire everybody. And I think Robert Saleh, I loved what he said about the instant coffee world. I mean, I think when it comes to the Lions, we got a little more, we've never been to a Super Bowl. We've got one playoff win in 60-something years, all the negative stats that you can have. So I think there's a lot of reason for us to feel the way we do, but at the same time, the decisions that we would make would be ridiculous. But Dan Campbell, man, he's seen the vision. He's known the course of the ship all along. And he's telling these guys, listen, you might not get this chance for a long time. So, yeah, we go out there, we handle business, we go to the playoffs. I love how playoffs is becoming a conversation, even for the team. When we were winning in 4-7 and blah, 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 and because we were in the hunt back then, it was there, but it was like, eh. And then as of last week, with that win over the Minnesota Vikings, now we're hearing the word playoffs coming from Dan Campbell and the players. And now you can't act like you don't hear what people are saying. You can, but I love what he said too. We got to take care of business. We got to play. We have to play. Even, I can tell you what, we get to the last game of the season against the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field. No matter what's on the line, Dan Campbell going to say the same thing. The same thing he said today. These players know what's on the line. Yada, yada. Coach talk. Let's go in there and handle business. And you know what, y'all? Even though we didn't win the division, nobody had us winning the division this year. And the Green Bay Packers are a team we're not going to have to worry about. Their time is over. Their time is over. I don't think the Minnesota Vikings, we're going to have to worry about them either. This year to me is just a weird year, in a year of parity where every team is alive in the NFL. But the Minnesota Vikings, I don't see the dominance that the Green Bay Packers had. But I could see if Brad Holmes builds this team right, that the Detroit Lions could be that dominant force in the North. And we deserve it. We have never won the North, never seen a title in 20 years. In the 20 years the North has existed, we've never seen it. We've come close twice. And that man that we have to play in Week 18 has stood in our way every single time. We are on the rise, but I love what he said. He didn't pretend that the playoffs are not a real thing. He didn't pretend that they don't see it. Of course they see it. But his words were, handle business in the next game so that you can have this opportunity. Because you may not get it again. You may not get it again. Frank Ragnow hasn't seen a playoff game. And everybody that he mentioned, I want to say has seen some playoff action. As Anzalone. Josh Reynolds, he's seen it. Last time Jared Goff went to the playoffs, he was there with him. And you got to believe that those guys are hyping this team up, letting them know. And he keeps talking about Brockers, like Brockers is the grandpa of the team. Brockers didn't even travel with the team. But, and I'm wondering, if that's the whole reason Brockers is still here. Because Brockers is on the shirt and the t-shirt. He's on the sideline in a t-shirt. He didn't travel with the team. He was sick. We haven't seen Michael Brockers play in probably months. But he keeps talking about every press conference this week. He's mentioned Michael Brockers. So Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions are very aware of where they are. And just like the 3 games before this Carolina game, they know what they have to do. And I'm going to be real. I think that they're in a great position to get there. Justin Fields, they played him already. They played him in their place. I'm not saying that he can't beat us, but I think we play him much better than we did the first time. We don't have a record-setting day. Durr says Brockers is strictly a locker room guy, 100%. And that's important, though, because I think we are the second youngest team in the league. Veteran leadership. Brockers was with the Rams. He knows what winning feels like. Unbelievable, man. I think the Lions are going to make it. I told y'all the other day. This was before the Jets game that the Lions are making the playoffs. The Lions are making the playoff. Rich strike of the NFL. Shout out to Peter King, man. But he wasn't the only one that called it. I called it too. But you know, sometimes you gotta toot your own horn, man. Sometimes you do. But listen, I gotta get off because I don't want to cut into my man's time. Touchdown Detroit Lions will be at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, hosted by Nick. This is his 3rd show, so appreciate the support. And yeah, I will see y'all then.